Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachy Catholic Church in Sterling Heights, Archdiocese of Detroit. Welcome to Saint of the Day. Today is January the 17th. A few days ago, we talked about St. Paul the Hermit, who lived all those many, many years for more than 100 years out in the desert. Well, our saint of the day also lived a very long time in the desert, St. Anthony. St. Anthony was born in 275 in the Delta of Egypt. The Delta of Egypt was the richest, most fertile part of the entire Roman Empire. It was the breadbasket for the Roman Empire because the silting of the soil and the rising and lowering of the Nile, bringing that rich soil down from Ethiopia, made it possible for people to grow 2 and sometimes 3 crops a year. And Anthony was a wealthy farmer. He had a lot of acres and grew a lot of crops, and it was good to be Anthony. Well, Anthony was convinced by a local Christian that he too might consider becoming a Christian. He would go to the person's house for Mass and decided that, yes, this is for me, and he became a Christian. Well, he kept running his farm, but one day at Mass, he was impressed by the reading, which was, "Go and sell all that you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven." So Anthony did just that. He took his rich farmland and sold it, much to the great surprise and shock of all of his neighbors. Then he took all the money he made and he gave it to the poor. And then he headed out to the desert to live as a hermit. He went a long way, came upon a very small oasis where he decided he would spend the rest of his life. Grew a little garden, and he thought he'd be just content with that. But the action that he took in selling the land was stuck with the neighbors. They were most impressed with that. And that action attracted other people to becoming Christians themselves. Now, during the Decian persecution, many of these new Christians in the Delta that were inspired by Anthony fled as well. And they fled to where Anthony was, out in the desert. They came out there seeking to be protected, and Anthony took them in and organized them into a religious community. He got a rule set up about how they would pray, how they would eat, how they would work, and how they would organize the community. And this particular monastery was a haven for people fleeing the Decian persecutions. Now, many, many years later, when Constantine legalizes the faith, Anthony is still alive. He's still there. He's going to live to be well more than 100 years old. And by that time, the monastery is thriving. Anthony is invited to come to many councils in the early church to preach against various heresies and to give witness to the faith in his life. His monastery was the oldest monastery in the world.